Healing the wounds that your twin flame has caused you is a very important part of the twin flame journey. I'm very certain that almost all divine feminines have thought of their divine counterpart as somebody who betrayed them or hurt them terribly, cheated, lied, etc. And it seems, really silly that the channels that we see on YouTube or the advice that we receive, or forget all of that, just your own inner attraction to this person who hurt you in this way, it seems very difficult to digest and to accept, right? So, why is it like this on this journey? And what should you do about the past experiences you had with your twin flame? So, instead of telling you that you should forgive and you should do this or you should do that, I would just simply say that operate in union consciousness, meaning thereby don't see any difference between your twin flame and you. You are the same soul. This is an outer manifestation of your own inner masculine energy, which is very well present within you. You are a balanced being. You as a being have complete energies within you. Both feminine and masculine exist within you, otherwise you will not come into existence. That's just the nature of the universe, the nature of creation. So, first of all, always look at yourself and understand that whatever you experience with your twin flame is not an original experience in terms of the hurts and the pains you receive, because your twin flame loves you unconditionally. That is a fact. Now, many of you will think, but why should I believe this fact? And I don't know. Unfortunately, this is a journey of faith, right? Where does the faith come from? The faith comes from an inner knowing. What is that inner knowing? It's just a matter of, placing some importance on the experience you had with your twin flame over what your logical mind will ever comprehend. Now, a logical mind will have a certain way of thinking, which is very within the box, that it has to be this way, somebody has to treat me right. Maybe earlier in your life, you were falling for people who were really good, especially if many divine feminines do have the pattern of having dated one narcissist at least in their life. And what are the things, that impress uh, a person about a narcissist is, the love bombing that I think most of us are aware of, meaning thereby all the attention that you receive, like you're the only person in the world, and making you feel like you're very important. But you don't know how many women they have done this with, and how many women they will continue to do this with after you, and how short their attention span is with regards to you. It is not more than a few weeks or a few months maximum till they basically have you in their pocket, literally, right? And then they pull away, and then it's all about you chasing that energy and you chasing that high with a narcissist that you felt because of the love and attention they gave you. It's very different from your experience with a twin flame. With your twin flame, you will have some spiritual experiences. You will have some crazy synchronicities. You will think that you finally met somebody who is like you, who accepts you for you. There is no distinction, between the both of you. You don't have to hold back on the way you are as a person to impress this person, which is not something you do with a narcissist. With a narcissist, many people just give up their independence, and they just think, now this is a person who will take care of me, because the narcissist comes across as somebody who wants to take care of you. Your twin flame will very unlikely not take care of you. Even the first time, more than the bubble love phase, it just doesn't happen like that. There is a massive difference. So only if you have experienced real narcissistic relationships where you've really gone through that love bombing and you've understood how it works, that the love bombing stops and then they no longer need your attention, and they want to move on to the next thing. For a narcissist, you are like a trophy. A woman, or for a narcissistic man, I don't want to be gender specific, but just for oversimplification, because most divine feminines listening and asking these questions are women. and heterosexual women. So I'm just assuming, that, and also just learning from my own experience. So if there is a narcissistic man, then he will be treating the woman that he's dating as a trophy, right? So he will then move on to the next one once he has this trophy, right? It's not the case with your twin flame at all. You both legitimately have a very powerful connection. There is a certain purity involved in the connection as well, that you will notice, that your twin will notice your discomfort. When you're out with them, they will notice your thoughts, they will notice how you're feeling, and they will do everything to ensure that, you're safe and you're doing well. And there is no reason behind that. They don't want something from you necessarily as such, that a narcissist will really, really want. A narcissistic bond can feel very intense because you now feel that you're loved. Finally, there is a man who's paying attention to you, who's there to, do big things for you. He's pulling all the big guns, I mean, he's coming in his car, he's bringing you flowers when he meets you, he's taking you out for fancy dinners, he's paying for you. That is narcissism. I'm very, very certain your twin flame bubble love phase was not like this at all, because your twin flame would not be doing these things for you. They treat you as an equal, they respect you, they're intrigued by you, and they're equally afraid as well. All right? Now, when it comes to, the separation and the reasons for separation, there can be cheating, there can be disloyalty, there can be any n number of things, right? There can be your own individual situations. That is not the truth of your union, but because this is your spiritual awakening and it's all about you at the end of the day, this is somebody who is showing to you a mirror of the wounding that you already carry. You already have the wounding or the karma of being betrayed within you. And now this person is presenting you an incredible opportunity to release that wounding or release that karma, to let that go. Now, how do you let that go? You examine and ask yourself, have you not been betrayed before in your life? Is the twin flame betrayal the first betrayal of your life? Have you not had any other betrayal experiences? If you're experiencing jealousy with, the people that you see your twin with or something, is this your first experience of jealousy? Because when you do the inner healing work and you look within, you will see that your twin is just pointing a torchlight to the wounds that you have. And once you follow that light and you go within and look at the source of the problems, trust me, in those experiences, what your twin did and did not do will not even matter, because right then you see the problem that you have within. The problem meaning that I'm not saying that as a person you have a problem, but I'm just saying that the wounding that we have carried. We are here on earth to learn something, right? This is like a difficult training ground, right? The energies of the planet are the way it is at this moment. In Hinduism, they say there are yugas. Yugas as in there are periods of time, and long periods of time, a very, very long period of time, right? So for a very stretched long period of time, there was a very positive yuga, a very positive time period where everything was nice, where everybody lived an honest life, everybody loved each other. It was called Sat Yuga, meaning that everything was based on Sat, based on truth. All right. So everybody loved they loved each other. There was peace. There was no fighting. And then, in our epics, there are stories about how, okay, the yugas changed, and then the evil forces started to rise up, right? And then there was right now, most people say that we are in the Kali Yuga. So that is the agreed upon yuga, that we live in. But some may say this is the latter part of the Dwapar Yuga, the yuga preceding the Kali Yuga. So this is the yuga where the negative energies are going to be prevalent. Now, how can you say negative energies? It's not some entity or some, soul or some ghost or something. No. It's basically that everybody lives a very closed off life. If you see it today in the world, as people you are spiritually awakening, you can see it more clearly how people don't have time for love, they don't have time for affection, they don't have time for themselves. Monday to Friday is, such a bad timeline for everyone. Everybody is supposed to sell their souls and go to work, and then on a Saturday and Sunday, they're just supposed to recuperate from that intensity of Monday to Friday for just making some amount of money. You see, everything is becoming crazy expensive. Healthcare should be so affordable for everyone. It's not like that. It's become so expensive in some of the most advanced countries in the world. There is no free healthcare, such as in the US, right? Or where they're trying to create a system, there is no specialist care which is easily accessible even in places like Canada, for instance, right? And of course, some countries with smaller populations, with the smaller size, are doing a better job of it, like the Scandinavian nations, right? And India, because of the variety of the country that it is, all sorts of healthcare is available, but specialist healthcare and private healthcare is expensive nonetheless. So you see how something so basic as health is not accessible in the world today, and nobody is even questioning it. It's just become a privilege for you to have access to an X-ray or or normal health care. Normal deliveries and normal regular checkups are so expensive in the most advanced countries in the world that you have to wonder, where is the society headed? What is this about? What is this inane celebrity culture that we keep following? What is this? Why are women wearing so much makeup all the time? Like, just think about it for a minute. I mean, I'm sure many of you, you've questioned this, and you've started to fall in love with your bodies the way they are, your face just exactly the way it is, and you will start to see that on many occasions you will not want to highlight your face all the time. You will not want to do that complex makeup that you were doing 10 years ago on your face, all the time, but you just accept your face as it is right now. And you only do some things here and there if you have to go somewhere to accentuate, if you wish to. But you're not, I mean, imagine that it's a world that we live in where people get plastic surgeries done to change the shape of their nose. Why do they think their nose is not perfect if there is no medical reason for it? Right? They get breast implants, Why are they not able to just accept their bodies as they are? And this is the normal way of existing. This is the normal way of existing, to change the color of your hair, to change the color of your skin, to change the size of, your breasts, and to change the way your lips look. They should look bigger. They should look like this. They should look like that. When we were unawakened, we were also, somewhere partaking in this and thinking we are not perfect. But as awakening happens to us, we go deeper and deeper into self love, right? When we go into self love, these things fall off automatically. Now you do everything, it's for fun. You get ready for fun, you feel good about yourself, but it's not coming out of a sense of, I'm not good the way I am. And I will be, you're no longer intimidated by how others view you. Maybe, you're not doing anything to your hair or your face or anything, but everyone around you is, and you're okay with it. You're not afraid of the judgment that others are extending to you about who you are as a person, right? Instead, maybe you're more focused on your health. You're more focused on maybe doing physical exercise, on looking at, how healthy you can be, how you can have better food every day, how you can have more nutrition, and how you can, love yourself, love your skin, love your body and everything, coming from a place of love rather than a place of shame about who you are, about your body. But this is the world that we live in, where this is the most normal way of existence. And unfortunately, see this, wealth is, considered to be an indicator of looking at somebody in a higher way. We live in societies where class is so prominent. The moment just because somebody is wealthy, they are considered to be more valuable than other people. A wealthy person has more value than a person who has no money, when this is can't be further from the truth, because existence is just happening through everyone, including through Bill Gates or Elon Musk or the other wealthy people, right? And also through very poor people who don't have a penny to their name, and people who may be in places where they will never be recognized. They may not even have access to phones or social media, and they may not have that social clout or whatever. But existence is happening through all of us. Existence is happening through animals, it's happening through plants, it's happening through rocks, through trees, through everything. There is no distinction. And that is why life is very fair in some sense, that everybody comes here for a finite number of years, right? And everybody has their fair share of karma that they have to resolve in this life. That is why it's not necessary that a very wealthy person will have an easy life or a very poor person will have a difficult life. There are other values to our, other gradations to our suffering. So, this is the world that we live in, and this is the conditioning that we have all had. Now, you're awakening, you're in an awakening journey, you're going through a spiritual awakening. Merely your divine counterpart is pointing out to you where this conditioning has impacted you, why you started to feel less about yourself as a 5-year-old girl or as a 7-year-old boy when you were young, when you were bullied, or maybe you were made to feel you're not pretty, maybe you were made to feel other girls are prettier, or something else happened, a rejection happened to you, maybe through your mother or your father, all just, karma that we're carrying and we're just processing, right? You started to believe you're not worthy. You started to believe you have to hide your light. You started to believe you're not smart. You started to believe you're not beautiful. Many people could have told you that. Like, I've had these experiences as well in my life, where we basically attract these experiences where people make you feel less about you, right? And we start to believe that we are less because someone made me feel less about me. There is so much self rejection that happens, that shows up all the time in our experiences, even in our bodies, even in our minds and in our day to day experiences. So, all your twin is doing is just telling you that, look, this is the wounding that you have. Until you have this wounding within you, it will unconsciously continue to impact you until you release this and heal it. And I will be your guiding light. I will trigger you. I will make you feel these feelings in your heart and in your energy, so you can look within and you can then release these wounds, and we can come together in the freedom and the original love that we share already. This is why I always encourage that connect with your divine counterpart's higher self. When you do that, you will not have any doubt about their love for you. You will see this journey as something more than what is happening to most people around you, because it is not something that words can really translate, right? It's not something that is meant to keep you limited to the logic of the mind, or the 3D world that we live in. It's meant to far exceed the mind and far exceed the world that we exist in right now, right? So I was also reading this another book, if you're interested about how through different time periods life deteriorates, and how essentially, this book was called the Ascension Manual, and I don't know who it is by. If you're interested to drop a comment, I will definitely respond. But essentially, it's lying somewhere on my bookshelf, so I'll find out. But the point is, even that book basically speaks of this, that how different phases of life existed and different kinds of souls are incarnating right now, where they have a certain kind of a tendency to be very much of the logic, to be very much of the mind, to not, be open to the sensitive side of life. And as divine feminines, it is very much your prerogative to come into your feminine energy. You will love your feminine energy. When I shifted from my overly hyper masculine energy into my feminine energy of going with the flow of life, of working things the way I want them to work, not stressing myself out too much, not overworking myself, not over obsessing about things and all of that, I realized this great ease and calm, that pervades life, this trust that you have in the flow of life. And that made my life so much easier and so much more pleasant than it was before. The experience of day to day life is more pleasant because I'm no longer in a rush. I'm no longer trying to make things happen. I'm no longer trying to do 10 things in a day. I'm very present with the one or two things that I do, right? In a finite amount of time. So, this is your feminine energy, and unfortunately, the world right now operates in a very unhealed masculine energy. So, women and men and feminine energies also have left all of those energies, the feminine, behind, and they are all subscribing to the masculine template, and an unhealed masculine template at that. So, this is your journey to go and be within your feminine energy. And when you're in a healed feminine energy, you don't have space for jealousy, anger, irritation, feeling less about yourself, self rejection. But this is a process of coming into this healed energy. You're undergoing that process right now through your twin flame awakening, of coming into your healed feminine energy, of balancing both energies within you and operating with the natural energy that is dominant in you, through which, that is the dynamic you share with your divine counterpart. It's like a system. I've spoken of this before, that if you see the Samadhi movie as well, they explain it so wonderfully in that movie. The person, David, he explains it so wonderfully. But if you actually just see it, it's basically that you are the yin yang symbol within you as complete yin yang symbol. But in your interaction with your divine counterpart, you are occupying the yin. Imagine a bigger yin yang. And I will again reshare this image, in the video. Maybe you can see it on your screens right now. Then, but essentially, it is that you occupy the yin space of the larger yin yang, but within you, you are the whole yin yang. And your counterpart occupies the yang space of the larger yin yang, right? Of which you are the yin. But within himself, he is the complete yin yang within him as well, right? This is coming directly from the Samadhi movie series. So, this is the truth of existence. So, understand this, that largely with your divine counterpart, with your dominant energy, is that of the feminine, meaning that you have to come to that space right now. You have to release that conditioning of wounding, jealousy, feeling less about yourself, not loving yourself, rejecting yourself, not being present with yourself, not being present with your emotions, not being present with your body. Various experiences in your life now are going to bring you closer and closer to just knowing you, knowing the fullness of you, the completeness of your own existence, the beauty of your life as it exists. You don't have to subscribe to the societal norms of running around, of doing things that others are doing, and others seem to be, so worked up all the time, and they wonder why you're not worked up about your life, why things are just happening to you the way they're happening to you, because you're unlocking that feminine essence within you. But yes, it is a process, and yes, it does not happen overnight. Yes, it takes a while, because there is years and years and possibly lifetime of karma to release and, to process through. All right. So keep at it. Don't doubt your divine counterpart. And if you have a lot of doubt about not being on the twin flame journey, then reassess it. If you've not gone through a spiritual awakening, any kind, you could have been spiritual before, but a magnified awakening then happens, a second awakening, a third awakening, or whatever. If that has not happened to you, then it's all right. Then don't make it a twin flame journey if it's not a twin flame journey. But intuitively you feel it is that, and I've met my counterpart, then now it's an opportunity to awaken. It's an opportunity to go into self-love. It's an opportunity to reevaluate all parts of your life, to be open to what your inner voice is telling you, and your inner voice will guide you back home. And then if you know you're on the twin flame journey, then try to release the pain and the anger that you have with your twin flame. Take responsibility for what your twin flame is triggering you towards, because that is not a separate soul. That is your soul trying to tell you you're carrying this wounding within you. All right. So know and dwell in the oneness of your truth with your twin flame. The union is what you have to dwell in. You have to shift your consciousness from a separation into a union consciousness. That is very important. Don't see them as a different person hurting you and deliberately trying to teach you lessons or something like that. They are just your soul bringing you into your awakening. It's massively different from a narcissistic relationship. Before you impute these terminologies of narcissism and empath and all of that, I would really urge you that you do more research on what a narcissist really is, and you try to compare it to some real life people that you may have encountered who may have shown these, personality traits, right? Um, but yes, in this journey, the divine masculine sometimes can be very unawakened, meaning thereby even your internal DM is quite unawakened, and they can show these personality traits. They can show a lot of indifference, and they can show a lot of you know um, inconsistency in their behavior, because they've not yet come into their healed masculine energy space, right? So they will also be operating in an unhealed way, the way you've been operating in your unhealed feminine energy. They will also be operating in an unhealed masculine energy. But this is not to say that abuse is endorsable. There is no abuse in the twin flame journeys ever. If there is abuse in your life right now coming from somebody you suspect to be your twin flame, then revisit that. That is not your twin flame at all, right? Like, as I've always said, you will not abuse your twin flame. So similarly, your twin will not abuse you. There is no abusive dynamic which is in the twin flame journey at all. It's a very respectful dynamic. It's a loving dynamic. It's a dynamic of looking out for each other. Even if you've not spoken in a long time, you still wish them well, on both sides. It's a positive dynamic. It's not a dynamic of abuse or anything. If you have those, then it's better to reconsider if this is really a twin flame journey or not. All right. So that's all, guys. So take care, guys. Have a beautiful, wonderful day. If you feel guided to book a one-on-one session, my email address is imacompletelife@gmail.com. You can write to me. I'll see you later. Bye.